Oh, you're on the Anthony Rogers show right now, and I just want to know, what's it like taking people's jobs? You feel good about yourself? Huh? You feel good? Oh, you're just gonna walk away? Oh, okay, bet, dude. Okay, bet. See ya. Oh, you wanna fight? Oh, okay. You wanna fucking go? You wanna fucking go, dude? Where is he going? Like, what is happening right now? Oh, now you wanna? Oh, okay, never mind.
How's it going? This is Sean from Smile Empty Soul, and you are watching The Anthony Rogers Show.
What's up, good people? This is Jesse Beach from Kill Switch Engage, and you're watching The Anthony Rogers Show. Let's get it.
Nice. Hey, this is Ebony Mystique, and you're watching The Anthony Rogers Show. Yeah.
What's up, y'all? It's Funny Man from Hollywood Undead, and we're watching The Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey everybody, my name's Art. I'm Freddie. I'm Forever Clear. And you're watching the Anthony Rogers Show right now.
Hey everybody, I'm Jared from your favorite band, Bowling for Soup. You're watching The Anthony Rogers Show.
Hi, my name is Emma Rose, and you're watching Anthony Rogers Show.
Hi, I'm Matt.
I'm Jake.
What's up? I'm JB. We're August Burns Red, and you're watching The Anthony Rogers Show.
Hi, I'm Addis Fichet, and you're watching The Anthony Rogers Show.
Sorry. I'm Kevin. I'm Peter. We're Candlebox, and you're watching The Anthony Rogers Show.
Hi, I'm Sheena Ryder, and you're watching The Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey, thanks for watching. Today's sponsor is the Original Joint Buddy. That's OJB420.com. Link in the description. It helps you roll the perfect joint. I already can roll joints, but what's good for me, anyway, for a guy that can already roll joints, is good. I use it for extract, hash, dabs, put it in there, and it holds it open and lets you roll the perfect infused joint. My wife uses it as a daily roller, and if you have no idea how to roll a joint, it's used for that too. So you can have people that have no idea how to roll a joint, people that are okay rolling joints, and people that are good at it and just want to put in some extracts and dabs and hash and stuff in there. So link in the description. Check it out. That is www.ojb420.com. Check it out.
Hey, it's your favorite comedian again. You thought you got rid of me. My name is Anthony Rogers. I'm here to tell you to buy the Rowell All-in-One paper set. It's basically a Swiss Army knife for rolling. You have your filters here. You have your slim papers here. You have your grinder right here. Just rub the nugs on that. You have a little pocket, and then you have a funnel to dump it all out. So get your all-in-one papers from Rowell. Link in the description. Get it now. Up your game. Welcome back to the best show in the entire universe. I'm your host tonight, Anthony Rogers. Nikki is sick, a little under the weather. If you're watching this currently, if you would share this in your group chats, text messages to your friends and family. If you have a family group chat, just drop it in there right now. And if you have any questions, feel free. We're going to go into a cool subject that I like a lot about your dreams, basically. And we have dream expert Patricia Eltinge. How you doing?
Patricia Eltinge here.
Sorry. Pretend I'm more professional. I said that right. We'll fix that in editing. We'll make me look more professional. Patricia Eltinge, dream analyst and expert. Going backwards in her career, doing a little charity work for you guys to be here. I appreciate it.
All is well. Happy to be here.
Well, I appreciate you. And we have we have Frankie do the weather real fast. I think Frankie's here. So weather from Frankie McDonald real fast, and we'll get into what I think is really awesome. Just talking about dreams and analyzing and stuff with a professional. So that's good. Frankie, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great so far. Perth, Australia had so much rain Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday in Perth, Australia. It brought so much heavy rain in Perth, Australia. It was really, really bad in Perth, Western Australia. It was mighty bad there. Very steamy, hot weather in Missouri and Iowa. Earlier in the week, it was so hot in Iowa and Missouri and all those places. Weather is dangerously hot in Iowa. Right now, it was dangerously hot there. They got a lot of rain hitting for Chicago tomorrow as well. It's going to bring rain Saturday in Western Nova Scotia, rain on Sunday in Eastern Nova Scotia, including Sydney, Nova Scotia, And in Vancouver, British Columbia is going to be is wetter and cooler than normal in Pacific Northwest, like Washington, Oregon. And did you hear about this? It's really hot in Southern California, like Phoenix, Arizona is in the monsoon season now. And India is getting into the monsoon season, including Northwest Russia's getting warmer, Murmansk Russia's getting warmer, Vorkuta Russia's getting warmer too. Everywhere is getting warmer. Then they got the 2026 Olympics coming up in Italy in February 2026. Italy's going to be so busy before tourists go to Italy in February 2026. Then it'll be first Olympics, Winter Olympics after restrictions came to an end in 2022. Italy's going to be so busy in 2026.
Sounds awesome, Frank. You were on that Perth, Australia story. Like, a lot of people on Instagram are talking about how you gave them a good heads up on that. You gave them about a week heads up on that storm in Perth, Australia. And a lot of people from Australia are thanking you for that heads up.
Yes, they say heads up, Frankie.
They did. They did, brother.
And then on June 20th, 2025, shortest stay here in Invercargill, New Zealand, Andy Darwin. He's a musician. He lives in Plymouth, New South Wales, Australia. That's within Sydney, Australia. Andy Darwin.
Nice, man. What do you know anything about, you have any thoughts on dreams?
Andy Darwin's a musician in Australia. And did you hear about this? And dreams means when somebody dream about when they're sleeping at night and things like this. Patricia, when somebody has a dream about something and things like this. When they wake up the next morning, there are two different worlds. A reality world, normal world, and dream world.
That's right.
Those are two different worlds.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any good dreams lately?
I had a great dreams and things. I said I can see people in my dreams and things like this. There are two different worlds out there: the dream world and reality. Those are two different worlds.
Those only are two of the different worlds. There are many more.
There's a lot of different worlds out there.
Yeah.
There's one
weather
world
in the dream world, Frank, or you just the weather in the real world?
And did you hear about this? I'm on Reddit too. I'm on another social media. And Reddit is not really a social media. And Frankie McDowell 1984 is my Reddit now too. Things are great so far. Things are going really well. On my side, I'm showing you Charlotte Street in Sydney, Nova Scotia as of right now.
Nice. This podcast looks like a fever dream right now. Like
wow, there you go.
There's more people walking on the streets because the weather's getting nicer in Sydney, Nova Scotia. Weather's so hot in southern states and things like this. Dry, dusty air coming all the way from West Coast, Northwestern Africa, the Sahara Desert, blow the dry, dusty air all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. And now, as an AKA Gulf of America, it's going to hit Texas, Florida, and all those places because dry, dusty air coming all the way from the Northwest Coast of Africa.
It's already in Florida now. I had it today. I breathed it in and it made me sneeze.
Yeah, it's a long ways away because at that time of the year, there's so much sandstorms going on in Egypt, Libya, Algeria, Morocco, and Sudan, and Ethiopia. They're bringing so much sandstorms in northern Chad and Sahara Desert, blowing all the sand off in northwest coast of Africa, blowing all the way to Caracas, Venezuela, Colombia, Peru, and all those countries, in Ecuador, Bolivia, and Panama, Honduras, Mexico, Guatemala, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Cuba, Dominican Republic, Haiti, Cayman Islands, Island St. Martin, and all those places, in Barbados.
Nice.
Blowing all the dry, dusty air all the way to Barbados, all the way from northwest coast of Africa, because it's this time of the year, bringing all the sandstorms from northwest coast of Africa all the way to southeastern United States, like Florida, Cuba, and all those places.
Bam.
And Perth, Australia had so much rain. People in Perth, Australia saw you.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for Patricia?
Hey, Patricia, what is the difference between a dream world and a reality? It's like a normal world.
It is a normal world. That's right. And it's just your subconscious mind, and the rest of us is having a whole other life back here in our brains. and we're having real experiences.
Dream world and normal world are two different worlds.
But they intersect, actually, because the dream world is a mirror and a reflection of the waking world. I don't like to call it real or dream world and waking world. They're really both real.
I just call it dream world and normal world.
Yeah.
Those are two different worlds.
Yep. Okay.
Do you have any dreams you want to tell her before you get out of here or anything like that? You have any recent dreams?
That means when I go to sleep every night, I dream about something, dream about being in a different place and things like this. It's a different world altogether. When I wake up, back to reality.
Do you have a recent dream you recall?
The recent dream is I was somewhere going for walks and things like this.
Where were you at?
Monster trucks are coming to Sydney, Nova Scotia on Saturday, June 7th. That's this Saturday coming. Monster trucks are coming to Sydney, Nova Scotia.
You going to that?
Yes. Saturday, June 7th.
Nice, man. Well, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. You got anything else you want to throw out some promo?
If you want to promote my Reddit is Frankie McDowell 1984. My link tree is Frankie McDowell. My Twitter's at Frankie McD94, now X, and my Blue Sky's at Frankie Mac. My Blue Sky's at Frankie McD. My Twitter's at Frankie McD is now X, and my link tree is Frankie McDowell, and my Facebook is Frankie McDowell. My Threads is at Frankie McD94, and my Instagram is Frankie McD94. My TikTok is FrankDown94. My Clapper is FrankDown94. My Twitch is FrankDown94. My Snapchat is Frankie MECD1. My YouTube channel is Dogs and Wolves. And my LinkedIn is Frankie McDowell. Best of luck there. I'm Frank Down. You're listening to Anthony Rogers Show every Tuesday nights.
Thank you, Frank. Appreciate you, brother. He's wildly accurate too. And if you're watching at home, feel free to share or ask questions as we go with this. This is one of my favorite guests I've had. Well, I mean, as far as subject content right now, I've been really hyped about this. So to get into it more, so I want to ask you a question about sleep paralysis real fast. I was for context, I had sleep paralysis for the first time recently. I think I was like taunting like a demon in the. I don't know if it's the astral realm or dream world or whatever terminology. I feel like I was astral projecting. I don't know. You're the expert. I'm a comedian. But I'm saying like I was taunting this demon in like the other world, I guess. And then I woke up to escape like I often do. Like if something bad's happening in a dream, I just wake up. That's my escape plan. And basically it followed me from that world. And I saw like a shadow figure and it like shot me with like this green something. And I couldn't move or talk. And like I couldn't say certain things, but I was able to say, help me, God, and then it disappeared. Or save me, God, I think is what I said. And it disappeared. What are your thoughts on that as an expert? And like, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, we do have sleep paralysis. This is a real phenomenon that happens when we sleep so that we don't act out our dreams and get all wild and everything. So while the brain is doing its number, while it's actually cleansing toxins out of our brain, is when we're doing this sleep during this phase called the glymphatic phase. So what's happening is our part of our brain that's for our motor skills shuts down so that the rest of our brain is doing its washing. I call it like paper shredding and filing and categorizing and paper shredding the stuff that we don't need. So that's the quick version. But when you are in sleep paralysis, it's so that we aren't actually flailing around and acting. But once in a while, some people, and it happens when some people can sleepwalk. I personally, when I was a kid, was a sleepwalker. So that means my brain wasn't shutting down in the areas where it was supposed to keep me quiet while I was acting out things in my dreams. So, and as far as that's a wonderful dream, by the way, and I want to tell all your listeners out there that scary dreams are there for a purpose, to help us build resiliency in the waking world. So it's preparing us for shit to come at us. So that's why we're having scary dreams sometimes, to actually prepare us for things that we know might be coming. but it's symbolic. So this guy that would put some green slime on you or something. Is that what you said?
It was like a gun. I was trying to grab his gun, and I was paralyzed where I couldn't grab his gun from him. I was trying to grab that green gun from him.
Oh, and that was shooting out green stuff?
Yeah, it shot this green thing over me, and I couldn't move. So I was trying to wake up my wife to grab him real fast. I'm like an action man. So I was like, I want to get him. I'm going to get this guy's gun from him.
Okay, well, it's relating to something in your waking life, because, like I said, it's correlating. Our dream world correlates to our waking world, and so what can you correlate us in your waking world where you think you're kind of being attacked or put down, or people coming at you in some way? And is there something in waking life where you think you have to put up your dukes, so to speak, and fight back?
Not lately, but I had a dream a week before when I was in Florida that basically somebody tried to shoot me like in a dream also. And that was a week before. And somebody pulled a gun on me, and then I woke up to escape like I did that time too. And it was just a person that time. And I woke up to escape more or less. I think I went for his gun and then woke up or something. And then like the following week I had that sleep paralysis demon like kind of thing.
Well, when you have a gun in a dream, that is a very, in my book, by the way, I'll tell you about that. My book it's called The Dream Class, Know Your Dreams, Know Yourself, by me. And so when you're working out, your brain in your subconscious mind is below the surface of our conscious mind. It's trying to work out stuff for you while you're sleeping. So maybe there's some things where you think people are facing things in the business world where you are having to fight to get what you want. So somehow you're trying to get where you want to go, and the gun is a masculine image, and I talk about that in my book, whereas masculine images and feminine energies, and a gun can really represent, that's a real phallic symbol. It's an image of a full-on masculine, to do with business, to do with your productivity. So do you ever feel like under the gun when you're preparing to perform?
It depends. I mean, I think this part's easy, but I think you nailed a separate issue. Like podcasting comedy is kind of natural and easy, but I think I was doing some other stuff I'm not going to say so publicly, but I do agree that was another business thing that I think people were kind of undermining me and trying to like take my idea and go for my idea. And I'm not going to say who or what publicly, but I do, and privately I would. But I think you nailed that there, though.
It's something where you feel like you need to fight back or protect yourself.
I agree, and that's, you nailed it. Actually, that's very.
So that's the correlation. We correlate. We have to connect the dots from our subconscious mind to our conscious mind. So from our dream world, which is back here below the surface, to our conscious mind, which is our waking life.
No, I think you nailed that with no context. As though I gave you zero context to my normal life, I guess. And I think you nailed that. That's very interesting and a very fresh and less frightening perspective, because I was getting tired of getting shot in my dreams. And I was hoping. I'm telling
you, Anthony, that all dreams wish us well, no matter how scary they might seem. They're trying to help us, prepare us to work out shit that's coming at us, or people we have to deal with, or issues in waking life, whether it's our job or whether it's our relationships. And I do a lot of relationship work, and people are often perplexed, or they're ruminating. They don't know, well, should I stay? Should I go? Should I kick him out? Should I kick her out? Should I stay? Well, your brain is doing all this behind the scenes work for you while you're sleeping.
No, you completely nailed it without enough context. And I'm gonna touch a comment real fast. You're saying, please leave couch guys distracting from the brilliance of Patricia. Nothing could distract from the brilliance of Patricia, to be honest with you. So this lady is brilliant, regardless of any comedic relief. She's there, visual entertainment. But okay, so are we astral projecting while we dream, or is it sometimes, always? Like, what's your thoughts?
We can.
I have been.
Yeah, I'm sure you have, and not everybody can relate to that. But it goes back centuries and eons where even biblical figures have felt like they've astro projected, and people over in the other area actually saw them and had the same dream or whatever. So yes, it is possible. And for the most part, though, I'd say 90% of the time we are, it's a reflection of how we're perceiving our waking life.
I think you're right on that. I think you are brilliant. Like the commenter was saying, you were super on point.
There was a guy who had a question up here again. I saw a few minutes ago.
There was a question.
I dread sleep sometimes because the work I have to do at night is rougher than the work in the waking hours. Well, I was just talking about that very thing. So when you're sleeping, your mind, your subconscious mind below the surface, is trying to work it out for you. And it sounds like this guy, Brian, is having difficulty at work. It's a stressful job. So his subconscious mind is preparing him to handle that.
Yeah, you were super on point. Like you have easy to digest words with really like complex subjects. I think that's a sign of like intelligence for sure. But okay,
I know about that. I have a lot of experience, and that's my field.
Well, that's what creates wisdom, is experience. And if anybody has any direct questions, feel free to ask. We'll ask her anything that you ask. Uncensored, I'll ask anything and address anything. But before we get questions rolling and stuff, I see my mom passed a year and 2 months ago, and I see her in my dream constantly. Beautiful. That's like I was telling you before we stopped this. I used to smoke a lot of weed, and I feel like I did that to suppress my dreams because I got tired of like seeing my mom sick in my dreams and all this stuff. And like and my dreams can predict certain things. I feel like that have happened so far and stuff. I've been able to predict things rather. But I see her in my dreams like almost every night at this point now, and I don't know if it's like my brain trying to handle the huge loss, or if it's like. Or if it's like I'm actually communicating with her, or if it's like I it's such a weird experience because I have when I quit smoking marijuana, I also have lucid dreams again, where I know I'm dreaming in my dream. Like I know I'm dreaming, and it's almost kind of sad to me because I almost like realize she dies every night because I'm in the dream world, or morning rather. These are more morning dreams that I remember. I will see her in my dream, and then I'll be like, but she's dead. This is fake. And I'll just like kind of did not really like that much. You know, it's like, I don't know. I like seeing her, but I hate like grieving every day about it, you know?
Well, that's part of your process. But I will tell you that especially when a parent comes into your dream, that is representing, and other work I do is script work. I help people unravel the way they were scripted. And so the mother figure for you is representing how and so I would like to give me a scenario and how she shows up.
Okay, so when she's sick, my mom had ALS, so she basically like deteriorated in front of me, and it was like the worst experience of my life, and obviously worse for her. But sometimes she'll be in a hospital bed, or sometimes she'll just be in a chair, and I'm like grabbing her or something. She'll like, hey, can you grab me something, like a drink or something like that? And then other times she's like older, and she's like one of the dream the day before she passed, or the week or so before she passed. I'll do the day before. She's in my dreams almost every day. So the day before she passed, she was in my car, or the car she gave me, one of the cars she gave me, in the passenger seat sleeping. And then I'd go to this comedian's house while we're on tour on the East Coast, I guess, which hasn't happened yet, but probably will. And she was sleeping on the couch. She was always sleeping around me. And then the next day she passed. And then that was one of the recent ones.
In the dream, she was sleeping near you.
Everywhere I was. Yeah. She's following me sleeping.
Okay. Well, there's an aspect of it. Give me her character or personality type in a nutshell.
Very small physically, but very large personality-wise, like an Italian
large personality. Okay, what's going on in your life where you are dulling down yourself?
I think it was when I was smoking a bunch. I think it dulled me down, and now that I'm more sober, I think I'm back. I think I'm like myself again.
So that's what that's representing, because she represents an aspect of yourself, and the aspect of yourself that is the I will go into it a little bit. The Jungian paradox is female figures in your dream represent the masculine side of life, which is productivity, working, business, doing, producing. So it's that side of you that was offline.
That's hilarious because I totally was. I was like, I had to silence like certain parts of myself to straight face, like feeding her and stuff and like handling her situation. I felt like I had to like numb myself so I wasn't sad around her to make her situation worse. Like I was just like trying to be like, I was like, I just had to like fake happiness around her when I was like feeding her when it was like the biggest nightmare of my life. And like other times I see her and like she was like successful. Like a week or two before she passed, she like had a vending machine business or something and was like bragging to me about it. And she's like, I'm making like 20 grand a month off this vending machine thing. And it was weird. I don't know. It's just a weird thing. I mean, she's always doing something different in my dream, and she's the most steady character in my dream at this point.
Okay, she's but what is she doing nowadays in your dream?
What was the most recent one? I think I was just hanging out with her, and she was making me laugh. And like she was in a chair, and she was just like being herself, like being this like. My mom was a very funny person, but didn't have an ego, or she would have went to comedy. She was like she just wanted to be a mom. She didn't want to be like anything. She didn't want to like. She didn't.
Yeah, but in your dream, she was being funny. And now that's you feeling funny again.
Wow. You were super on point. That felt real when you said that. I could tell the difference. That's wow, that's crazy. And like I'll just keep going off dreams for fun. I'm like until people have actual questions. But this other one was like I took over a CBD store. I bought a CBD store. And they're like, well, what sells and stuff? They're like, well, people aren't coming in here and stuff like that. And I'm like, all right, we'll make this like a corner store. Like people eat food more than they consume CBD. So aren't you selling bread and hot sauce and whatever? I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Is that like
cookies?
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that was like a basic, obvious like thing. Like people eat 3 times a day. They take CBD like maybe once a day tops.
There you go. Well, that was an epiphany. So that was your masculine side of you, which is your head, back online.
That's funny. I feel like that. I feel like I've like grown so much from that. And like, I'm not having to take care of an entire person and their life right now where I had to for like 4 years. Like I didn't have to, I chose to, but I'm saying like, I think that like, I think
it's a necessity. Yeah.
I think so. Yes. So your mom, it's a mom. Yes. Take care of your mom. But I mean, but it was like one of those things. It was like I didn't really live for me as much as I did for her for the last 4 years. And then I found that out later too. I found out she was big into radio. She loved Howard Stern. She loved all this stuff. And then I feel like everything I was doing was just impress my mom when she passed. I didn't realize that till she passed. It was a weird kind of thing. And like, sorry if I'm focusing too much on that. I'm just like,
maybe you knew she was living vicariously through you because you said she was a funny person.
She was hilarious. Yeah, no, she was like, it's weird. I realized that after she passed. I'm like, my audience is gone. I'll have tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people watch the stuff I do online. I'll have 2 nights in a row sold out somewhere, and I'll do it because it's easy money and I'm lazy. But like, I'm like, I lost my audience when my mom died. You know, I lost the person
you lost your fan, your main
my
fan.
only fan I cared about impressing. Yes, the only person I ever cared about impressing was my mom. And I didn't realize that till after. And like, do you relate to that as well? Like, have you felt these things as well in your life, or what?
Oh, absolutely. I've lost all my parents. I had, my mother, my father, my stepmother, my stepfather. So those were all the people who are now gone in my life, and most recently my big brother. And but when these people come to us in our dreams, it lets us know that we still own aspects of them in us. So that's what the takeaway to that is, that however aspects of them we still own. They imprinted us.
Definitely.
So
I'd say that
take that away. You liked your mother's sense of humor, so you have it. You have that piece of her in you.
I made an entire career out of it. No, I mean, definitely. I feel so lucky for that gift because I am uneducated and I have to work way harder if I didn't have that gift. I would have to, I'd have to be in the factories or whatever terminology, or the cubicles. Now, there's anything wrong with that. I just feel like it's way better traveling the world and doing your thing. In my opinion, that's why I'm doing it. But
For
I feel
you,
Exactly.
everyone is different.
Yes,
Yeah, everyone is different. Some people need to work at Lowe's. They love it. They love being around the people. They love being in the garden center, and that they love it. That's where they feel good. And you should feel good in where you work. So the guy who wrote in earlier, it sounds like if I were coaching him, I would say maybe you want to think about some other work.
Wow, you're probably right.
This Brian.
I know Brian.
His dream is trying to tell him that there might be something else out there for him.
I think you're right 100% because Brian's a rocket scientist when I met him and stuff. Very, very smart guy, understands rockets, understands. I actually met him in a business meeting at the business district in St. Louis where he was basically trying to get money together to mine asteroids for their resources because there's quadrillions of dollars worth of gold and other things on these asteroid belts and asteroids in general. And I was talking to him about that originally, and probably any job to that guy is probably the same way because he's like such a dreamer. You know, he's like such a He's like it's kind of a weird thing to say, but he's a rocket scientist, so his head's in the stars. You know, it's like he's always he's like a big dreamer and stuff. That's what I like about him, to be honest. So I like that he's just never where you're at, it's where you're going type thing. You know, and like I think it's so. What this is kind of a cheesy, typical question more about you, but so what got you into this line of work originally?
Oh, I talk about that in the in my introduction in my book.
You're like, read my book. I should have done your homework, Anthony.
I will tell you, I was kidnapped and molested when I was 5, and I lived in a very Mr. Rogers type neighborhood in Los Angeles back then. And I was actually kidnapped by a guy who was looking for his puppy, as they, you know. So, but you know what they talk about silver linings is. That's when I had my epiphany and my awakening, because I heard a voice calling me when the guy had me down in the big drainage ditch, this huge drainage ditch. That's
insane. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but this is the beauty of when it led me to understand the dream world. I heard a voice came down and said, calling my name as plain as day.
Was it an angel?
Well, that's what we think somehow. We don't know. It was some entity from somewhere that's called my name. And I said to the guy, I said, they're here. They're here to come get me. And I'm a 5-year-old kid. And he zipped up his pants before he did anything worse and ran under the tunnel. And I was looking around for where who was calling me, and it wasn't. There was nobody there. I was wandering for hours trying to find, just wandering. I couldn't find my way out because there was no way out. Anyway, but many hours later, the police did find me, and I said, was anybody calling me before? And they said no. They just no. So that's how I knew there was something more than just what we see in our waking life, in our regular life. So many years later, because of that incident, I had what people call nightmares, and now that I just call scary images in our dreams, of a big witch chasing me with a big broomstick. Well, a big broomstick was coming out of somebody's crotch. What's that look like? It's a big phallic symbol, right? So this is chasing me every night in my dreams. I would cry and scream, but my parents would, oh, it's just a dream. Go to sleep. You'll be fine. And ultimately, I sought it out. The meaning of that was my PTSD, post-trauma. I had post-trauma from the incident. So one thing led to another. And over the years, then I had some therapy, but then I studied psychology and the dream world and got deeper into the dream segments. And that's how I got into it. That was my lead.
sharing that story. That's so bold and brave to share such a terrible experience I like that you can focus on the silver lining of that, to be honest. But
but how many people have I been able to influence and help because of my work and my being able to heal my trauma, and to let people know that learning to one part that I do. Typically, I don't teach people to do anything, even if they are lucid dreaming. And again, lucid dreaming is when you're aware that you're in a dream state while you're dreaming. So typically, I just tell people, watch the movie like you're watching a movie, and just be witness to the movie. Well, when people have had trauma, then I train them to reframe it, and they can change the ending. They can change what happens in the dream. But I say most of the time, I'd have people not try to do anything or change anything, because that's where the lesson is, how we get a lesson, learning something that we need to know, learning, like I was helping you earlier to understand those things. Those are just watch the movie, and then upon waking, then we talk about, how can I connect that dream with my waking life? So that's the typical way to do it. But when someone has had trauma, then I help them reframe a situation.
Yeah, excuse the language, but what a badass! Like literally, just what there's no G-rated way to say it. Just what a badass! Like I completely respect that you're able to talk about that and like transfer that into good. And like are you maybe a personal question? But are you Christian?
I was raised in the Christian faith.
I had a feeling. I don't know if you still are, but no, I'm very Christian. Like
I'm more global now. I'm more like agape style. I'm like y'all come.
Fair, and I think that's just a servant of God is what I meant by Christian. Yeah, just more or less. Yeah, no, I see that, and I think that's what good does. I think you can turn anything into a win. I think that's like the power of good, and like and I definitely, just from like my experience and opinion, I definitely think that was an angel calling out to you.
I believe so.
I definitely think that was an angel, and I've had several experiences with both, the demons and the angels, and I think they're around us constantly. And maybe a weird question too, but I just want to know your take on this. Do you believe in reincarnation?
Absolutely.
I had a feeling you would. Yeah, no. Do you remember your past lives or being born or anything?
I don't remember being born, but I get glimpses at times. I've had glimpses that I was somewhere other than this era.
Where were you?
Well, I definitely think that I've been in the area of the Druid England.
Okay.
And oddly enough, I come from, a lot of my ancestry is English, so I do have ancestors from ancient England, I suppose.
Yeah, your energy. When you said that, I seen your. I felt your energy. I believed that when you said that immediately. That's crazy though. I definitely believe in that too. I definitely think that our soul's forever, and like, what are your thoughts? Is this like there's differing points of views, I think, within reincarnation. Do you think this is like a soul prison cycle thing, or is it a school, or what are your thoughts on all that?
What do you mean a school? What do you mean by
like
that?
Is this a soul school, or is Earth a soul school, or like or is it like a soul prison? I don't know. I go back and forth on those two things, and it could be something else. If you think it's something else, feel free. But those are the two things I come down to every time. I don't know.
Well, that your soul is in a prison, or is that what you're talking about?
I feel like I go back and forth between the thoughts of, okay, I'm here for lessons. I'm here to learn things.
Yes.
I'm here to live better than I was. But then the cycle, the reincarnation cycle makes me think I'm in a soul prison or something, and they're using like this place called Earth for like the Matrix, where they're using it for batteries or something, and the negativity they feed off of or something. I kind of go wild with these opinions, but I feel like it's one or the other, and I don't know which. And it could be
if you're cleaning up your karma, because I'm also a student of the teachings of the Buddha, and you might want to have Eitan Boritzer on, my partner, on sometime, because he's a lay scholar of the teachings of the Buddha, and he can go on and on and on for days. But yes, if you're cleaning up your shit, so to speak, in this life, so the more we clean up our shit, the less times we have to stay stuck in we can just go into the cosmos forever and not be stuck.
I was wondering that. Okay, it was like I felt like I remember, this is a weird thing, but I remember being born, and I remember picking my life, and I remember picking between a couple lives, and I remember my guide or whatever terminology telling me it's my last chance or something. Like I was put in like isolation or something between these worlds, and they put me in this weird like sphere, I couldn't get out of, and then I was pushed here like almost as punishment. It seems like that's how I feel, but I don't know that.
Well, if you can look at it as punishment, or if you want to look at it as punishment, it kind of is, until you're released, until your spirit is finally released. If you clean it all up, you won't have to do so many lifetimes. You know,
Lord knows I'm trying. I knew you believed in reincarnation somehow. I could just vibe you. I had it was like it's a certain kind of person that understands that. I think, like, you know, like
you gotta have an open mind.
Very, very true. And I mean, I guess you do with dreams. Your entire job is being an open mind, I guess.
How I say to people, I teach people to get in touch with their own sixth sense. I'm not just Madame Verushka with a turban and a crystal ball that has all the answers. I teach my clients, the people who come to me, I teach them to get in touch with their own sixth sense. So that is what is satisfying, gives me gratification, because I watch people blossom and really start to get in touch and open up.
I think your gift is normalizing and simplifying like very complex things like the dream world. I think it's a very complex thing. It's like how the Beatles wrote like songs in like 4-letter words. You know, it's like so every audience can understand that. But whereas like in my opinion, and this is my opinion, I think less intelligent people try to use big words to seem intelligent, or I think actual intelligent people try to speak to everyone that could listen and condense speech.
Distill it so it's understandable.
And I think that's your gift, because you're in a very complex field. You're super complex to understand. You have to come into your field with an open mind, or you're just going to turn it off out of fear, basically. Like, you mean like people are going to be like, oh no, I don't want to think about that. You know, I can just tell with you.
People hire me to come talk to their groups, whether it's their church or their synagogue or their book club or whatever it is. I come, and whether it's on Zoom or in person, and after I give my overall talk for, let's say, 20 minutes, then I'm open forum and people sharing dreams. And they go, oh, no, I don't want to know. Some people just don't want to know. They're afraid of knowing what. First of all, our conscious mind is just a segment of who we are. Our subconscious mind below the surface is our real self. It's how we truly think and feel. And we have so many filters in our waking life so that we don't run around naked with our hair on fire screaming. You know, not that that's, you know, not fun, but I'm just saying, you know, we'd all act crazy if we didn't have all these filters, because we wear clothing and we talk decently, hopefully, to each other in our waking life. But in our subconscious mind, it's unfiltered. We can fly, we can breathe underwater, we can battle demons and dragons and do all kinds of things. So that represents our real thoughts, but it's all symbolic. So those symbols, whatever those images are that are symbolic, are representational of how we truly think and feel without the filters.
I agree 100% with that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but was I reading that you work with hypnosis also?
Not in the sense that, no, not like tick-tock, you're in a sleep. No, but in a way, the dream world gets you there.
Okay,
and I
may have messed that up.
I do teach people how to sleep well. Now, one thing I might add, and I know a lot of people, I know one of your sponsors, whatever, people like to smoke dope or drink alcohol and take various drugs. fine and dandy, but you're not going to get the same quality of sleep as you do when you don't have substances in you. So you won't have the quality of dreaming. So in order to gain understanding of what's going on in your subconscious mind. So it's just an FYI. Look at this. Look at who's writing in. Eitan Bortzer. Anthony, read it. Can you read it?
Yeah. Reincarnation. The Buddha had a lot to say. One short version. If you want to know who you were or who you will be, know who you are. Explain more on your show. So I'm definitely. I'd love to cover that more. Like when you don't have such a fantastic guest on this, well, I'd like to go more into depth on that for sure. And even if it was interesting to hear, I would as well. But no, I think that's no, it's very captivating. And I think like most of the religions are telling the same story. And if you put them all together, it's kind of like that. I think, and then I'm not someone to like, don't take what I say as real. That's just how I view the world. But I think I'm better at knowing myself now. And I think like you seem like you're authentic too. And I think that's why I clicked right away, because it's hard for me to click with people that are inauthentic. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's like the highest frequency, and I can tell you're a person that I feel the same way about. Like you're getting like
what you see is what you get. What you're trying to say, I think, is I'm not full of shit.
Exactly, and I completely agree with that. And I think that like I can always tell the difference, and I always my soul almost butt heads with people that are fake. You know, it's like I'm not going to call names or anything or point out people, but I'm just saying like I always kind of conflict with people that are inauthentic, and I think you're really on point, and you seem to know who you are. And like when I asked that question about your dream, for you able to go into that means you've done so much work in yourself to where your trauma is resolved now, to where you're not having to hide or mask who you are as a person. I think a lot of that time is it's a shield. Like the mask is a shield a lot of times because they don't want to deal with their actual trauma or admit to things. And I think the fact that you can do that publicly is very, very just bold. And I see you as a very bold person. And I like
that's what I help people do. I help people uncover the stuff that holds them back so that their life can flourish. Because if we have all this armor around us and we're all protective layers, so people can't see us and know us, we're missing out. We're missing out. We need to allow ourselves to be vulnerable. And we will gravitate, and people will gravitate. The right people will gravitate to each other.
It's weird you said that because I feel like that's where I am right now in this. I'm about to go to this like huge next level. And I feel like the way you said that is like the timing's so crazy to meet somebody like you in this timing, because I literally feel that I'm trying not like, for lack of better terminology, I'm trying not to self-sabotage. I'm doing everything I can to get healthy and like work out. And like I have like instead of weed everywhere and smoking dabs the entire episode, I have like protein around me and water. I've grown so much in like the last month or so, and I feel like that's like the next level. And I feel like just naturally, this is like another like it's like I don't know if you're familiar with like old video games like Nintendo or something like.
I'm older than you think.
How old are you? That's not rude.
I'm over 70, believe it or not.
Wow, you age a lot better than me. That's good to know. So
I've lived a very healthy life for quite some time now.
No, you have great genes. That's great. That's good for you. Like I look. I feel like I'm in my 30s, but I look 40. You know, when I take my hat off. But no, and you have like a youthful but wise energy too. That's interesting. Like,
I do. I'm very childlike, and and that's because I'm not afraid to expose the child within.
I think that's very important. Picasso said a lot about that in art, and I think that's very important in art, and I think writing's an art as well. But I'm saying, like, I definitely think that, like, so okay, and I don't know your situation professionally or anything like that. I mean, I do to a degree, but is there some kind of interesting dream that you could tell us that shocked you or something without giving away a person's name or any client confidentiality thing? I don't want to ever mess with that, but if you is there any kind of like thing that you're just like, whoa, that was and then like you came to realize what it meant later or something maybe?
I don't think that anything shocks me anymore after all these years. I've been doing this for over 30 years. So
you have a fast, articulate answer for everything I came to you with. I noticed that right away. You don't seem like a person that's easy to shock. Like I'd have to but
I'll tell you a dream. I'll tell you in my book, I do give there are some dream examples in my book,
And then go to thedreamclass.com if you're watching this. Link in the description also to get her book and also more stories about Patricia. She's also on Amazon. Everybody has Amazon Prime, I'm sure. Sorry, good. I just want to make sure they know.
Thank you. There are stories of people's dreams and how I summarize them and make analysis in the book of that dream. But I'll give you a quickie here. There's a gal who was going through her mother being ill, since you can relate to this, and their family is of American Italians, or Italian Americans, I should say, and the mother had been ill, but she was off and on. Well, this gal had a dream that there was black underwear hanging on a hanger on a door, on the back of a door. Well, first of all, this woman said she never owned any black underwear in her whole entire life. She was very straight-laced kind of a person and never had any black underwear. So I know this for a fact, that her mind, her subconscious mind, was starting to prepare her for her mother's ultimate departure, because black, especially in her culture, our dreams are personal. There's no dream dictionary. My book is not a dictionary. It teaches people how to understand their own personal dreams, because we all see things from a personal point of view. So this black underwear represents your first layer of persona. Clothing in your dreams represents your persona. That's why my cover of my book is this. The clothing is a persona. This is a shedding of your persona. And whoops. There you go.
No, I pulled it up so they can see the whole book. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So her mind was preparing her for the first layer of the mourning attire. And sure enough, her mother died shortly after, but her mind was preparing her for her first layer of mourning.
That's brutal. That's so brutal. Like, your mind almost has to. Like, I think, like, was hers out of nowhere? Or was it like she was sick, or what was the situation with that?
The mother had been sick on and off for a year or so, but she wasn't dying at that point. She wasn't like in a hospital bed dying. But gradually, I think what I'm saying is your mind is there to protect you, even if it has scary images or weird images or strange images. It's trying to give you messages that will help you in your waking life. So that was helping her to prepare.
Yeah, no, I think, I agree. That's crazy. That's the worst thing that probably ever happened to me. So I can relate that to a lot of people. I think that was, that's the worst experience ever to deal with. I mean, I couldn't imagine like other people having to deal with that too.
Yeah, I would be curious to have heard some of your dreams during that time period when you were preparing. Of course, at the time you said you were using more.
I smoked a lot of weed, for like terminology, like up to a pound every week or two. I was suppressing my dreams on purpose, so I didn't.
Yeah. Well, the dreams would help you prepare even better, but you did it your way and you survived. Now your dreams are helping you understand it.
Yeah, I had the curse and luxury of having 1,000 goodbyes. It was the curse and luxury, because like the curse was obviously seeing her in pain every day, and the luxury was like knowing, and it didn't just drop out of nowhere, where I was able to plan and stuff, and like no, it was just like my best friend, so it was the worst experience.
Your best fan. She was your best fan.
Well, yeah, the only real fan I ever probably had. It was just like I remember it was so crazy. Like I remember like. I built a studio. I'm in my office now downtown and stuff, but in St. Louis. But I built a studio in her basement when I lived there, because I would go upstairs, I'd feed her, and then I'd go downstairs and interview like Tommy Chong or like Jim Brewer or something like that, and then I put it on her TV. If she asked to watch it, I wasn't torturing her, and I put it on her TV, and I'd walk up after, and she talked to me about the show and stuff. She's like, "Oh, you did such a good job," or "I liked this, I didn't like that." And like she'd always like I just would always.
She was indirectly a mentor too.
Definitely. I think I think she made my life so easy, and I think
Yeah.
that's what they say in like the opening line of The Great Gatsby was something like that. It was like it was an F. Scott Fitzgerald's Great Gatsby. It was something like that, like gave me every advantage in life, you know. And I think that like I have such an easy life because of that woman, you know. It's like it would have been a lot harder, and I would have done a lot worse if she wasn't there to bail me out of every situation in my 20s and to push me forward. You know, I was like kind of
Well,
a
that's
troublemaker.
very enlightened of you to recognize that and know that.
Do you have kids?
I don't have kids, but I do have kids because all the people in the world people call me worldwide, and coast to coast and
No,
worldwide.
you're huge. You're an absolute legend.
People, I feel like those are my kids.
That's awesome. I had a feeling you didn't because I don't have kids. We have a lot of weird stuff in common. I think we'll find and I noticed that was one of them. I'm like I don't have kids either, but it was so weird to have such an impression from a parent and just not reproduce. Like it was just such a weird. Like to me, it's so weird. Like in hindsight, that like my hero's like my mom, but then I never had kids. Like it's just just like a weird thing.
Well, I had a lot of animal. I raised horses for most of my life, and I had dogs and cat. I even had a goat at one time. I had a pet fox at one time. I have had a lot of animals. Those were my little kids too. I raised animals.
No, I feel no, I have a lot of friends, I think, which I think people with a lot of friends have a smaller family. You know, it's like oh, excuse me. But no, yeah, I had a lot of that's interesting. Like, is there something that you want people to know about about your work that may have not been covered in your book yet, or they may not know, or like that you just want to get out there more or less?
Yeah, a lot of people nowadays are interested in finding a relationship to be in, or how to navigate the one they're in, because being in, I don't know if you're in a relationship now or not. Oh, you're married. Okay. Well, navigating it. And so our dream world, again, you want to hold this if you want, you can hold it up, but
yeah, let me pull that up for you.
Yeah.
So the Dream Class right there. And you go to thedreamclass.com also if you're watching.
Yeah.
Link in the description.
We talk about how our subconscious mind can help us navigate our relationships, and how we are managing, how we are truly thinking, feeling. Sometimes we're like just getting by and we overlook certain things, or we react off of our scripted self to things that are insignificant. So, but understanding our subconscious mind helps free us to be able to navigate our relationships, and not just our romantic relationships, but our work relationships, all of our relationships.
I think that's brilliant. No, you're right. I think the better you know yourself in the dream world, in real life, it's subconscious, conscious, whatever terminology, the better you are as a person. I think it's just and whatever the ranking system is, you know, I think that it does make you a better person, though.
Well, that's why the subtitle of the book is "Know Your Dreams, Know Yourself."
Yeah. I think I know most of them, but I think you were able to summarize them way better. Like and most of my dreams are lessons or practice in the real world or something. I feel like as if I practice in my dreams a lot, but I think that I know it's I definitely think that, and like the sleep paralysis thing was interesting to me because like I found pictures of that demon from like the 1700s, and like I found like paintings of him and stuff, which was crazy to me. And then like science in your field, so like that, it does say it's hallucinations, and I believe both. I think that it's true what you said, but I also think the demon thing's real. I think both are true. I think
there are demons, but the demons often come from within. So there are our own personal demons. We need to know what we need to heal of our own demons. But yes, there is evil in the world, as we know very well. So if we know ourselves as well as we can, the best that we can, then we can ward off, like you were warding off in your dream, the demon. You were warding off the evil in your dream. And so that prepares you to ward off the evil in the world.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of the Archangel Michael who gets to throw the Antichrist in that fire pit. I'm almost jealous that he has that move. You know, it sounds fun. And that's the kind of person I am. I feel like as a soul, I feel like I'm like that, where I just want to, Most people when they see a demon, they think it's like to run or be scared or something. But I just see him as like an unemployed angel. You know, I'm like, well, you lost your job, you're unemployed, and like and you know, I feel like evil's so weak, and I just love toying with it. I love messing with it and making it feel small because I think that it makes other people. I don't know. It's like my fight or flight's all fight. Like in that situation, you know, it's all just like it's a double down. I want to capture this guy like King Solomon. You know, it's like I want to capture this guy. Solomon used him to. Are you familiar with that story? King Solomon captured a demon and used him to like build like a bunch of stuff for him.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't enslave a demon. I would capture
It's
it.
not enslaved, but you can. Well, you can. It's like Aikido, which is you take that force and use it for your good.
Yeah, and then just like I just feel like, and I pray for the fallen angels a lot too. You know, I feel like whenever they're trying to like be the boogeyman to me or something like that, I'm like, God, please forgive the fallen angels. They've left you, and I hope they come back one day. You know, I hope you forgive them one day for they're just in pain. You know, because that's what evil seems to me. Evil doesn't seem scary like a boogeyman to me. It seems like they're in a lot of pain. Like darkness is pain mostly to me.
That's what I had to learn as a child with my dream. It took me many years from childhood to young adulthood to really understand that.
Yeah, no, I mean, you had way more trauma than me. I was a very spoiled kid, but and like I was a pampered fat kid. I was gonna make a joke. I don't know if this is good taste off, but I was too ugly to molest as a kid, so I didn't. I was thankful I was a fat, ugly kid, so I never had to deal with that. But sorry, I thought it was funny, but I think that. I think that my trauma was mostly just missing people I care about, like my grandparents and my parents and stuff. And I think talking about it with like experts and friends and everything in between, I think like that's why I'm not so miserable as I could be. Where when she's sick, I would just get mean sometimes, you know, and I still do sometimes. But I try to get over that, and I try to just I don't know. I think being sober mostly helps that probably.
That helps that, but also to when people recognize that when we've lost someone on this plane, that they have left with us their influence and their attributes to own it within ourselves.
Beautifully said. No, you should write some poetry too. But I think like you know, it's a weird feeling. It's like the people that created me are no longer here. That's like a weird feeling. It's like, well, they created me. They decided they wanted to have me, and now they're gone. And I'm like, now I'm like the creation of other people that aren't even here. And it's like a weird thing. It's like, all right, what do I do? I just coast off of like my teenage angst for the rest of my life. You know, it's like, what do I do? I mean, it's just kind of a thing. It's like, I don't know. It's like the Nirvana lyrics, like teenage angst is paid off well. Now I'm bored and old, and that's how I feel. I'm just bored and old, and like I'm doing what people would beg God to do. You know, I'm like touring and I'm doing everything. I'm doing all the dreams that people beg for. And I'm just bored, you know, mostly not today, because like, I think like you keep it interesting, but I think like, I'm just so bored mostly, you know? And I think that like, having captivating people like you with just great energy, like first off, your energy is great. And you're just like, and your articulation's on point, and like, your subject matter is fascinating. So I think stuff like that keeps it fresh where I learn. You know, and I think just being open and asking probably
appreciate that.
No, I feel that way. I think you're like, I first heard you on Coast to Coast, and you're great on that.
You did.
That's one of my favorite shows. So I love that, and like I love what you bring to the table, and I think that there's a lot to learn. And if I learned to shut up more, I probably would have learned more during this hour. But
no, you've got great host, and Couch Guy has been very listening with intent.
I respect how you get straight face that, because some people get freaked out about that. I respect how you get straight face that. Like, you're a professional, and I like that. It's like because a lot of people get scared. Not a lot of people, but I think it's just fun. Like I told you behind the scenes, I think it's just a fun like ADD thing to have on there to make it more interesting. And Whitney's a great comic. He's one of my good friends too, and I think he's just very funny guy, and he writes great jokes. But
I grew up with a kooky brother, so my little brother was quite kooky. So I was just like, whatever.
That makes a lot of sense. He's like, and it's funny having him on mute because normally he's like a one-liner comic, so it's like funny seeing him only be visual. But no, I think that's crazy, and I think like this whole episode has been kind of a fever dream with like visually speaking. So it's like kind of a cool like contextually thing, or a cool concept. But no, so what are your goals from now? I mean, you've done almost everything, I guess. You know, you've done a lot. I mean, what are your goals?
No, I haven't done everything.
Well, from the outside, I guess it's easy to see that. I say that, but from the inside, you're probably.
I'm open for people to hire me for their groups. Well, what happened during COVID, everything was, how it was. Well, people started hiring me for their Zoom groups, and I would have sometimes, 50 people in a Zoom room and lecture and talking and interacting with people then. And so people could come out of their shells in a safe place, in the safety of their own home, and they started coming out more with their truth or with their authenticity, because it was less scary. It wasn't. But now, I'm back in people everywhere, like I said, from somebody's church group or book club or golf club, and so that's what I do. I'm a gun for hire.
Where can people hire you? Is that thedreamclass.com?
Thedreamclass.com.
Link in the description. You can click it under her brief bio of Patricia if you're listening to this later on Spotify or Apple Podcasts you're watching now. And the link underneath her brief bio that we copy pasted from her website like professionals. That you will see a link you can click on and you can hire her for your to ask your own stupid or intelligent questions. Like I chose stupid today, but but I feel like more people have more
questions were great.
Well, I appreciate
that. And I appreciate that you allowed personal questions.
Well, that's all I have. It's like I'm not gonna be like, well, what do you think about the world? Or it's like I don't know. We already covered that a little bit with Frank. I think Frankie kind of covered that a little bit. But I was just I've been that sleep process thing's been sticking out to me a lot. And I've asked a lot of people, and they've all had the same experience. And science says hallucination, but I tend to
there's real sleep paralysis where you start waking up a little bit before that part of your brain wakes up, because your muscles are a little offline when you're sleeping, so that your brain can do its process. But if you're having a dream that you have paralysis in your dream, besides the reality that you're in that state, there's something in your life where you feel stuck.
Yeah, it's different things. It's different things for sure. And I think I think it was you broke down the science behind, and I tend to believe what you're saying. So I'm just saying, I think there's more than one truth. It's like, I don't like debate. I think there's more than one truth in the world, and that's more how I feel. It's and I think what you said is very accurate and very well put and very articulate. And I think that how you describe the process of waking up to where you don't freak out in real life is very true and on point as well. And the only discrepancy, not necessarily with you, but that I had from Googling things was that they like the MDs and the PhDs and the experts and stuff would all say that the demon was like an hallucination more so. And that's the only discrepancy I had. And not necessarily, you didn't say that. I'm not with you at all, with more ChatGPT and the things I Googled and blah, 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 would tend to say that stuff. But I know, I just feel like I feel like I knew what I was doing in that. I think I was astral projecting that day. And I have a lot of mirrors around on my bus. I found I'm a comedian, so I'm in a bus a lot. And I feel like he traveled through a mirror or something. And I didn't see that part of it, but I did see him try to do it. And it was so funny. I don't know. The simple pleasure of being a human is scaring demons. It's a simple pleasure in life. It's like I'm supposed to be scared of you, and I'm going to terrify you. But then I still scream for God.
That's an indication of your character and your real personality. So you're a go-getter and you're a kick butt kind of guy.
Well, I appreciate that. That's very kind of you. And I just win, and I'm sick of evil. I'm just sick of what evil's done to the planet. I'm sick of darkness. I'm sick of what evil has done to my family and what it's done to like everything. And and this is kind of maybe personal or crazy, but when you lose a mom, you end up I feel like I got I was blaming the wrong guy. I was getting in a shouting match with God over it. I'm like, get down here, I'll box you. It's like you took the only thing I care about. And I feel like that still. I feel like I lost all I even care about. And I'm coasting and I'm pretending everything. I'm going with it. I'm supposed to be here probably. I guess.
It can take up to the grieving. How long ago did she pass?
A year and 2 months ago.
Yeah, so you're under the 2-year mark. It takes a couple of years to really process your grief, and that's with work, by the way, with talking to somebody like me, with understanding your dreams, with people who just want to drink or smoke it away. Their grief, it takes longer.
I noticed that, and then like I said, I was blaming the wrong guy. I was like, God, get down here! I'm going to box you for this. I will knock you out for this. And I'm now apologizing for blasphemy, obviously, but I'm saying, but I'm saying that like I was blaming the wrong guy. It's darkness, the devil. You know what I mean? Like, and it was just a weird thing, and I think it was messing with me because I prayed over her house the day she died, and just like didn't sit well with me. And then the next renter I have in there has a stack of Bibles. Like I have the house rented out right now to my friend. There's a stack of Bibles on that table in there, which once housed a sick person is now a stack of Bibles on there. I'm like, well, the house was prayed over. I probably should have prayed over the hospital, huh?
Yes.
And I'm just like, it's like I just.
Well, you prayed over her to stop her misery too.
I agree, and I think the soul's forever, and I think she's not in pain or in a prison anymore.
Yeah.
But also darkness. I'll never forgive darkness for that. I'll never forgive evil for that. I'll never. And like I feel like it's almost like the one thing that keeps me here, and like not here, but like doing things and not just laying around watching Rick and Morty for 27 hours straight. Because I could probably do nothing for the rest of my life right now if I wanted to. I literally could, but I live well beneath my means, and I do well, so I can do whatever I want. But I think that's the one thing that keeps me motivated. Is like just taking it out, taking the devil out, taking the darkness off this earth, and just getting it out of you. Like that old, you ever heard that song? Like, there's this old reggae song, like, we're gonna, I forgot what it's called, so never mind. But this old reggae song talked about going into the earth and throwing the devil out of earth. Basically, that was like the lines, like, I forgot what it's called, but it was like, it was such a good song.
We're never going to get rid of it. We just have to learn to navigate it and use it. In a way, like I said, Aikido. If you understand what Aikido is, it's a martial art where you don't box the energy. The negative energy that comes to you, you turn it around and utilize it against itself.
Oh, like Bruce Lee did.
Yes.
Like he turned that punch into like a thing for them. Yeah.
Exactly.
Dude, yeah, that was sorry, I'm Googling that song real fast. Okay, yeah, it was called Chase the Devil by Max Romeo. The lyrics were like and I think like I don't know. I still want to try. At least you could say it's not possible. I still want to throw him off the earth, But it's like Lucifer's son in the morning. I'm going to chase you out of earth. I'm going to put on an iron shirt and chase the devil out of earth. And then it goes on like that. And it's like and it just like it has like this chant. And like you could tell evil hates that stuff. Evil like the devil uses music more than anybody. I feel like to try to get his message across because Lucifer was the most beautiful angel / the music guy. So I think like so I think it's like hilarious to use like country gospel and other things like that to play the game against him. It's like because I'm just a fool. I'm like nothing. I'm just a fool like everybody else. I'm a human being. But I think if I could be the guy to throw the devil out of earth, that'd be quite the accomplishment.
Okay, well, I'm right behind you. I'll back you up with my psychic energy.
I appreciate you. Do have that vibe. I thought that too. Okay, so you were psychic also.
Well, that's what I train people to do. I'm trained. I get people to finally get in touch with what we all have. We all have a sixth sense. And yes, I'm highly skilled to be in touch with my sixth sense. Some people call it psychic, but we all have it. And so we're all psychic if we learn it and learn how to use it. That's what I do.
No, I selfishly use it for business, but I can see that you have. I can see that you have that ability also, that intuition, and you're connected with it. I can see that too. So I can basically tell people everything they want to hear all the time if I wanted to. I just don't want to.
Yeah, right.
I really could. I could just tell everybody everything they want to hear. I do the opposite. I tend to, but no, I can tell you have that. I thought that, but I wasn't going to bring that up to sound crazy. I didn't want to sound crazy, so I didn't bring it up. But I think that not that everything else I said was normal, but I'm just saying I had that vibe that you have intuition also like that. Like a lot of
it's
my friends.
It's a combination of intuition, which comes from here, and instinct, which comes from the body. So when you combine, that's very androgynous, by the way, to combine your intuition and your instinct. Woo! And get in touch with this. Woo!
No, I had a feeling that I vibed that. I could usually tell when people can tell. I could tell when I'm being read, and I could tell you could read people. I can read people also. But I feel like, and that's my job. I feel like as a comedian, it's just like, okay, what do I tell these people that paid to be here? But I think the same thing with like I said, I selfishly use it for business, but I think you use it for better. And I need to learn that. I need to learn. That's probably the lesson. Really, is that I should probably use it for more than just selfish gain. And I think that, but
selfish gain is making people laugh isn't just selfish. You're giving people a respite from the negativity in the world.
Well, and hopefully teaching them. Hopefully they walk out of here and hear some angry rant I said where they realize that the pharmaceutical industry and the privatized prison complex is holding everybody at gunpoint. Hopefully they realize that we're in a corporate dictatorship instead of a free country. But no, but I mean that's what I try to get the point across, in making fun of things. But hopefully, and I don't know. I push confidence and I push freedom. That's what I feel like I push subconsciously. But ultimately, personal gain, and I think
that's my purview. I want to teach consciousness, and consciousness isn't just coming from the filtered mind; it comes from the unfiltered mind.
Yeah, you radiate. You're good. You seem like a good person. You radiate it. It's good. It's an amazing thing to see. I think that's if I was less selfish, I'd be there with you. It's I feel I'm fighting it constantly. I'm fighting it constantly, trying to be. But no, I think your vibe is the goal. Your personal vibration on Earth is the goal. I think it's to be good and to push it, and I don't know, make people a better person.
And to do good for others. And so we have a little mantra, a little prayer we do every morning, and it's about being a beneficial to the planet, people on the planet, being a benefit to others.
Yeah, because really we're all servants of each other, we're all supposed to serve other people and not only ourselves, but I think I was just broke so long. I got tired of, I just want to serve myself a little bit, but I think
it's okay. It's energetic exchange.
Yeah, and the stronger I become, the more I can help people. If I can't help myself, who can I help? If I can't free myself from the financial strains of this weird dictatorship we were born into, that I can't I can't help free other people. I can't explain how to free other people. And first you got to take yourself out of the game completely, and not play the rules. I think that's what worked for me the best. And not everybody can do that. Some people have kids and responsibilities and stuff, but I think it's easier for a guy like me to do it. And then once I could relate to other people. I think I could help other comedians or writers or artists or whatever. I help everybody do
exponentially. Let it mushroom.
I'm trying to. Yeah, no, I try to. A lot of things get in my way, but I definitely try to. I try to my friend asked me to shoot a music video, and he's like, "How much money do you want?" I don't want any money. Just I'll shoot it. It's stuff like that. It's little things like that to where it's just I wouldn't do that for everybody, to be real. But I'm just saying it's just I just feel that way. It's about helping the tribe, and the tribe helps other people. And it's I don't know, man. It's I'll overload. There's such a homeless problem in St. Louis. I will grab so much food from my office, just walk out, passing out. They'll be like, "You got any change?" I'm like, "Ask me for $20, man. What are you gonna do with 50 cents?" And they're like, "Well, can I have $20?" I'm like, "Yeah, here's $20." And other times I'll yell. Other times I'll yell at them. Don't get me wrong. I'm both. But I was saying I'll overload these guys. I'll just go out there and give them all this food I have. I have no. I could literally lay around for 30 years if I wanted to and do nothing. So it's it's a gift to just just help everyone that asks me. And sometimes in a bad mood, but I don't know. This sums up my character. There's this guy asking for money outside of Quick Trip, which is a gas station in the Midwest. And he's like, "Hey, can I have money?" I'm like, "No, I hate when people ask me that." I go inside. And I come back out. I go, "That was no way to talk to you. Here's $10, and here's a drink." And I'll first tell them to F off for better words. And I don't want to cuss right now. I'm trying to get rid of that. But I'll first tell them to do that, and then I'll come back around. I'm like that. I don't know. It's like that. I don't know. I'm like I don't know. I try to cut off the first part, but I'm close. I'm close. It's I'll probably pass this life with a C- like I passed high school. That's
I don't know. I think you're making an effort, and I can tell you're making an effort. So you're being highly judgmental, self-judgmental.
Well, I want your energy. I think that I just you just seem like a good person, and when I see good people, my wife's like that. My wife's a really good person, and I think that's her best quality. I think to me, when I see somebody be good, I'm just man, I wish I was good.
She is your spirit. Recognize that she is your spiritual guide.
I think you're
when a man has a good woman, she is his spiritual guide. So remember that.
No, she probably saved me at one point and several other times, and she helped feed my mom and all these things. And I really appreciate her. And she was when you look at somebody like that, you're just when you're around real good, you notice your impurities, when you're around, for lack of a better terminology, when you're around a bunch of shitbags and just drink and smoke weed all the time and just don't really care about anything, I think that you become that, and I think when you see good, when you're in the presence of good or angelic light, you immediately see your flaws, and I want to be pure good. That's all I want to do.
I don't think of myself as being, Snow White, but
Your vibe though.
My vibe. Okay, my vibe.
I think that though. I think you got that good energy.
you.
You know, I can tell the difference. I can tell the difference between a con artist and a good person every time. And I think you're a good person. And like and I'm just saying, like, that's the goal of humanity, I think, and at least in my opinion. And maybe it's a projection or psychological projection or something, but I'm saying that, like, I think to be completely angelic and good is my goal, and I come short a lot, but I think that's the goal. I don't know. I really think that's the goal, but I watched what happened to the only good person that ever walked the earth. They beat him for days and nailed him to a cross next to murderers, you know? So it's like, does this life reward good, or is it only the next life? You know, it's such a, I don't know, it's such a complex little, like sacred geometry simulation we're in. You know, it's like this little soul prison or whatever. This little soul test is so complex, you know?
I will say one thing. Don't strive for perfection. Strive for excellence.
Yeah. That sounds beautiful. That's good. Like I said, you need to write a poetry. I challenge you to write a poetry book.
Eitan has a poetry book. When you do work with him sometime.
I challenge you personally to write a poetry book.
Oh, okay. I do. I actually, some of the poetry that I have written comes from the dark side. It could be very dark. It wasn't that dark. It was really understanding the potential of nothingness.
Elaborate on that, actually. Elaborate on that. What is the potential of nothingness? It sounds good, but I'm too dumb to understand that. Elaborate on that.
I wrote a poem one time when I was in my 20s. Mind into void, body into blackdom. Fill the space with emptiness, everything forgotten. Shades of illusion to the blackness of reality. Wander there aimlessly. 1,000 senses now acute, anticipation won't subside, but darkness is reality, nothingness for eternity.
Oh, wow. That's powerful in the other direction for sure.
Yeah, but it wasn't, I didn't see it as dark. I just saw it as understanding that one day we're all going to go into the darkness and accepting it. And I accepted. Well, no, I didn't mean darkness. I didn't mean dark like evil. I meant this world will one day go black to us. I mean, this particular world, fade to black, so to speak. You know, like, and then that's it. So at that young age, I wrote that was my epiphany that one day this particular dimension that I was living in would end. And I came to that at a very young age.
It was beautifully written. I like the words a lot on that. That was very good words. Like, you know, it's funny that you wrote poems young too. I did too, and I was like a troublemaking kid. That when I hung out with people my age, I got in trouble. But I would hang out with like older people, and I'd write poems with them. Like, it was like I was like around everyone my age. I just became like I just got messed up and made jokes and like was a terrible person type vibe, like terrible delinquent type vibe. And
that's not bad. You were still had the light because you wanted to make people laugh. When you're saying making jokes, when I was in school, I was dubbed female class clown. I was always a thought of. Even though that particular poem, then I wrote that in college. Well, I was always coming up with something that could make somebody laugh.
Yeah, no,
to
I was like
see the lighter side, because I learned, that's what I did learn at a young age, was to see the other side of something dark. But in order to see the brightness, to have been to the dark, to have experienced the dark, which I did as a young child, then the bright is even brighter. I can see a twist of humor in almost anything, even something that seems dark and dismal.
No, it's a good talent. I think that's how you get more people to the light for sure. And like, no, I used to write a lot too. I don't know when I stopped. I guess I just like the world got too exciting where I just stopped creating as much in that regard. No, my favorite poem I ever written was like this thing. It was like I forgot I don't know what I titled it, but it was like comment into me once you follow me. There's a million things that I wish you could see. The internet's fake. It was like television's fake. Everything in this life is a giant escape, a will to power, and nothing else. And I love that line. It's like a Nietzsche line and stuff. But I was really into poetry when I was a kid, but like I just the world got interesting for a second, so I stopped being creative. But I think, no, I think I'm back though. I think I'm just bored all the time. So it's like
I don't see you being bored. I don't see you being bored.
All the time. Like, I couldn't imagine being 70, like in the aspect of like, all right, well, how much more stuff is there to see for me? You know, I'm like 30. I'm like, I turned 39 this month, and I'm like, I mean, I don't even. I pretty much peaked in adolescence. I feel like a teenager still, but I don't know. It's just like
I do too. Believe it or not, I do too.
I feel like an adolescent, but it's like it's weird. It's like oh, it just keeps going for 40 more years. Like, I have to keep maintaining all this. Just like, all right, just keep.
No, you don't maintain. You keep morphing. You keep blossoming different branches.
And I think I'm right before a huge thing. That's probably why
we grow.
I think I'm right before that. I think I'm right before this huge thing is about to happen.
This huge transformation, and that's what I'm seeing, because that's one of my main things that I do. When people work with me for a long, over time, I help them through their personal growth and transformation. That's what's gratifying for me, and ultimate satisfaction is watching people blossom in their transformation.
I feel like I'm about to be a millionaire, not just in net worth. I think I'm about to be a millionaire, like in cash and stuff too. And I think I feel it. I literally feel it, and I know it. And I'm like, I mean, I'm probably a millionaire in net worth already, but I'm saying like I'll probably be a millionaire in cash also. And I think I'm about to go this like next level, like wildly, where I'm just gonna like travel Asia and do all this stuff, and like just like travel the world, do whatever I want to do. Because like I'm at this point, it's like I don't know. It's like I don't know. I just feel like it's like I said, it comes back to that Nirvana line. It's like cheating and Jenks is paying off well. Now I'm bored and old. That's how I feel.
Have you been to India? Have you been to India?
I've never been to the other side of the hemisphere. I've been everywhere here. I've traveled every state except two.
It is very transformative. I think everybody who has been raised in this culture here, United States, travel to the Far East. And I've spent several weeks in India, and so as my partner at a different time. And we, before we knew each other, we had both been to India, and it has a way of changing you.
Yeah, I read a lot about the Beatles and other stuff, like finding that, and like a lot of stuff with that. And I have a lot of Indian friends and stuff, and like I definitely want to see it. I mean, I definitely want to see the entire world. But I think I've seen, like, I guess Mexico, Canada, most of the states in America, Jamaica. So I've pretty much seen most of this hemisphere, and I'm like an adventurer. I want to explore more. So I think the next, I'm terrified to fly, which is the main problem. Because like
I can help you with that. I can help you get up with that.
Well, this is a funny story. I actually, like, this company, I'm going bald, and like I don't even really care. Like everyone else cares about it. Everyone cares about going bald. I don't care. But they even, like, the guy in Turkey is almost like the guy in Turkey was like, hey, I'll give you a free hair transplant if you put an ad on here. I'm like, first off, I don't really want a hair transplant. I just want to age naturally. and then like I also don't know if I want to push that on people, and also I don't want to fly to Turkey like ever. So it's like I mean, so it's like I
that was a check. No, and no.
Yeah, it's like if I was single, I'd probably get a hair transplant. But I'm already married. I don't care. I already locked down. I have to lock down. It's like
one of the sexiest men on the planet back in the day. It was Yul Brynner. He was a heartthrob. I don't know if you remember him as an actor, but he was the King in The King and I back in as an old classic. Okay. And he was in the Magnificent Seven, and yeah, he was a hot dude. He was.
I like being bald. Like, honestly, I actually enjoy it. I actually enjoy it. That's why I tell people, because it's awesome. I just want to say it's like I'm leveling up. Like when you're a kid and you have no testosterone, you have hair. But when you're a man and you have high testosterone, you know what I'm saying? It's like, not to be rude, but to other people with hair still. But I'm just saying that, like, I just think it's better. To me, it means I'm growing. I'm on level 39 this month. I turn in 27 days I turn 39. So level 39 approaching.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to look old. Like, that's the whole thing. I'm supposed to age. I'm supposed to go gray. I'm supposed to get old. It's like, it's a luxury. It's like I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I don't know. My mom only made 56 years on this planet. I'm definitely going to double that probably. And I think that, like, I don't know. I just feel like it's part of life. It's like the whole ride. It's like, I don't want to be 15 forever. What a waste of time. I mean, I'm supposed to grow old and wise. Most of my friends are older at this point. Like my grandpa.
Wiser is the key. Wiser.
Yeah. My wife's grandpa's 90, and he's like one of my best friends. Like most people I talk to are older, because most people my age are either raising their kids or they're just doing stuff I don't care about. It's like, and I love them. I'm not trying to knock them, but I'm saying, like, I mean, people are like, what do they do? I'm like, I don't care about work. I don't know what they do. I just hang out with them. It's like, it's like, that's how I feel about life. It's like, we don't talk about jobs. I don't know.
Whatever.
This is how I feel, but I feel like I'm overstaying your welcome. I feel like I feel like that we should wrap this, and I appreciate your time. Everyone should read your book, The Dream Class. Go to thedreamclass.com if you'd like to ask your personal questions. I may annoy you off the record about getting rid of my fear of flying, but I'm just saying, like, amazing.
You're gonna email me your mailing address to send you an autographed copy.
Yes, I'm gonna get an autographed copy. I'm gonna I collect autographs, so I will. I'll put it next to him. Like I got a couple next to me. Oh, I got one next to me right now. I think. I don't know if you're familiar with the comedian Artie Lang, but I got his autographed DVD, like Artie Lang right now.
Oh yeah, I've heard of him.
I'll put it on the around the trophies in the office, and then I'll have somebody intelligent read it to me. So I'll look.
When you do get into it, you just read one chapter at a time and digest it.
Okay. Do you have an audiobook?
Yeah, it's on audio, and it's my voice. It's my own voice too.
Oh, you have a great voice. That's actually awesome.
But what you'll be missing on the audiobook is 22 of my dreamlike photographic images. It's a beautiful coffee table book too. There's many dreamlike images, photographs by me, and there's a whole part on the chakras, our energy centers.
Let me pull it up real fast. There you go. Pull it up again. Sorry.
The energy centers. I have a whole chapter on colors and what colors mean in your dreams, and some really cool, sometimes scary images, like when we have old people come up in our dreams, or anyway, the audiobook is cool, but the photographs, 22 of these beautiful photographic images, are in the hard copy book.
Very cool. I'm greedy. I'll do both. I'll have your autograph book, and I'll listen to the audio book because I am slow. So I'll do it while I work out because I like listening and learning while I work out. Well, is there anything I didn't mention you want to throw out there? Any kind of promotion thing I did not cover, or anything like that you like to throw out there?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Or talking to our couch guy. Thank you, couch guy. It's been wonderful. Yeah, look for me. Contact me. I'm open to hearing from people from coast to coast.
Very cool. You're unmuted, Whitney. Sorry about that.
Okay, well, thanks for being a good sport. I love doing this.
You're adorable.
Well, thank you.
I just did. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, this space was spontaneous, so I just thought I'd go with it.
You did a wonderful job, and you could get a job doing the next Victoria's Secret, do the makeup for the Victoria's Secret runway show.
Well, don't take him away from me. Don't let him know he has potential other places. We got to keep Whitney as long as we can here on the show. Otherwise, he can't know he's better than the show. Okay, we can't let him know that yet.
Oh, okay. You're not too good for the show.
I'm just messing around. But no, thank you all for watching. Spending your Tuesday night watching this or listening to this on Spotify or Apple later. It'll be on Roku, Fire TV, stuff like that. Janie, thanks for joining the show in the last 3 seconds of the show. I appreciate you. I'm just messing around. She's one of my friends. But no, I thank you, Janie, for ever watching the show. Some episodes should be the only one watching, so I appreciate that. Thank you, Rumble, for featuring this. Thank you, Patricia, for being an amazing guest. Whitney for being an amazing comedian. And God bless each and every one of you watching. And I hope that one day your dreams all come true, or they continue to come true. And you could do whatever you want in this life. So, I mean, whatever you want to do, just keep doing it. And
all dreams wish us well.
Very true. Very true. My set looks like a teenager's room. I have like a couch with like stuff on it. Like it's like, this is an office. Isn't that sad? Like could you imagine being a lawyer and seeing my office? You're just like or a dentist or something. Like look, to the left, you have a clothes on a couch.
Your laundry.
Yeah, you have a mannequin. You have we went to a lot of events this year, though. We got a lot of press passes, a lot of press passes on that one too. You know.
Well, let me know where your next gig is, and I'll show up.
Well, you're gonna have to drive kind of far, but
no, I'm not driving very far.
I'll meet you in St. Louis next week. I'm doing
Florida.
Well, yeah, I'll be in Florida all November, so we'll do a live podcast next time and elaborate on this, and I'll just shut up more so people can learn more. But no, it's like I'll be in Florida all November. I think I'm doing the Winterbird tour. I'm just like doing that whole I like the, I don't know, it's hard. I don't know. I got mixed feelings about where I'm at. I love St. Louis and hate it at the same time, you know. It's like one of those things. I got mixed feelings. I'm from here, but I like the upgrade of Florida. So how long have you been there?
4 years just.
Was it an upgrade or downgrade, would you say?
A lateral grade.
Lateral grade, I like that.
It was a lateral move.
I feel like that's what you do. I feel like as I get more rental property, that's the move of all renters is to move to Florida. So I think it's that's the move. But I don't know. I like this St. Louis thing sometimes. I don't know.
It's very centrally located. It's very good.
Yeah, there's no pool. Like I don't know. I missed the lake because I want to be in a pool bar right now after this.
Well, I'm a beach person. We went from one coast to the other.
Yeah, I was thinking about going to LA because it looks cheap to live there. You just like put a tent out and just like live on the sidewalk. So I was thinking about doing that. You know, I was debating camping out like the Native Americans did. You know, but
yeah, that became a little of a problem for a while. Yeah, they have a little problem there.
Well, yeah, we definitely got to pray for them and stuff and figure that out because that's a situation we can't just ignore or laugh at. Really,
no,
I'll make humor about it. It still is funny, but at the same time, we have to heal these people and help these people. And
they're working on it finally, maybe.
We should. Yeah, no, it's a weird thing. It's like sober up, try it life, and stop doing fentanyl because it's stupid, and maybe grow up a little bit, feel your feelings, work through your trauma, work through your pain, and evolve as a human being. Stop trying to stay 15 forever, and maybe become a wise adult that the world needs. Maybe and there's no Batman or Superman, and we need you to get off the street and save the world because you could be the next millionaire. If you're homeless watching this right now, you could be the next millionaire. You could be richer than me, richer than anybody ever. You could be richer than all three of us in this conversation if you try at it. You just do it, and like you know what's on the way to winning? A lot of failure. So if you've been failing a lot, it means your win's coming. You know what I mean? You got to fail a million times before you get where you want to be. It's like you can't just snap your fingers and have everything you see on TV. You're not gonna be like your favorite rapper just by smoking weed. You're just gonna you got to try, you got to do stuff, and like you got to fail a million times or more, or who knows? You can fail 10 times. Sometimes you get lucky, you know. But where you're at doesn't matter. It's where you're going. You know what I mean? And like you could be on that street right now in Los Angeles watching this. You could be watching this from your fentanyl TP, and you could literally just be like, "Wow, I want to live in a teenager's office like this," or "Wow, I want to." You get a mansion yourself. Do whatever your worldly dreams are can happen as long as you try. And it's America, and you can do whatever you want. And stop blaming rich people. It's not rich people's fault that your life sucks. It's your fault, and you can do anything you want. And if you're in communism, you'd probably be dead. So it'd probably kill you. But I'm just saying, dark turn. But I'm just saying, like, you literally could do anything you want. And we're talking to a dream analyst. This lady is so huge. She was on Coast to Coast, and she's on this show. You know what I'm saying? You could reach out to anybody and make magic happen. You could have an amazing comedian like Whitney Holland sit on a couch for an hour and a half when you only told him an hour. And sometimes it works out, you know? Sometimes all your dreams can come true. And that's all you got to do is just try and do them. And like what? Oh, you fail? All your friend's gonna make fun of you. Your family's gonna make fun of you for failing. Well, they're gonna make fun of you when you do nothing. You know. So just no matter what, people are gonna have an opinion about whatever you do, no matter what you do. So you may as well make yourself happy, and maybe make some other people happy. And the goal, I guess, is to probably serve everybody on the planet, not yourself. You know. And I'm trying to learn that. I'm trying to learn that with my T-shirts, with my face on it, my posters with a giant name. I'm trying to realize that I don't matter. That I'm just a person that's decaying like everybody else. And I should serve other people. I'm gonna go outside and hug 7 homeless guys and like and just I don't know, throw my car keys out. I think I have my car. I don't care anymore. I'm just saying, like, we should all evolve and serve everybody. And anything's possible. Like this tonight we have. This should never happen. Whitney Holland is too good of a comedian to be on this show, this couch guy. And Patricia is too much of an expert to even be on this show. They're both going backwards in their career because I had an idea, and my ideas happen like everybody else's could, you know. So I'm just saying, like, you could live your dreams and talk to people way cooler and way more qualified than yourself, and you can collab with whoever you want to. You know what I mean? You can do whatever you want, and like you gotta do it. No more excuses. Like, like whatever excuse you have, it's bullshit. Sorry for cussing, but it's bullshit. And like you can do whatever you want. Like it's like nobody cares about your limiting thoughts or what could have been. At the end of the day, you don't look at your life and be like, well, I could have done all these things, but you didn't. You need to do whatever you want. And like, there's enough comedians and rock stars. Just please be a doctor or a carpenter. Please save the planet we're in right now. It's rotting. And like, we're in the decline of the West. Please save our planet. Please. There's no Batman. There's no Superman. There's no Wonder Woman. It's just you and I. And we have to fix this ourselves. So don't blame the president. Don't blame the rich. Blame yourself and evolve.
Or don't blame anybody and just have some personal growth and transformation.
That was better said. I like that last line. Yes, be accountable. Don't blame yourself. Be accountable and grow, and we're going to go to the stars. We're going to do whatever we want. And it's all pretend. Our soul lives forever and this body's fleeting. So it's all fake. We're in a sacred geometry simulation watched by light beings that guide us to the next world. And none of this matters. TV's fake. The internet's fake. TikTok's fake. Be yourself. God bless. I'm out of here.
Nice meeting you.
Bye-bye. Where are you
Bye-bye.
performing? Where are you performing next?
Well, it's kind of up in the air for me right now. Mostly doing open mics. And
Good. Where?
Yeah,
Where are you?
I'm in St. Louis.
Oh, you're by him. Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, when sometimes he lets me come along, so I'll usually perform where he is. So it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Cool.
But, yeah,
Excellent.
it was great meeting you. Yeah, it was fascinating. So anyway.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
How's it going? This is Sean from Smile Empty Soul, and you are watching the Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
It's going.
You're here on the Anthony Rogers Show?
Oh,
Hey, we're here with Fox from Dexter and the Moon Rocks at Rockville in Daytona.
What's up, y'all? It's Funny Man from Hollywood Undead, and we're watching the Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey, everybody, I'm Jeff from your favorite band, Falling for Soup. You're watching the Anthony Rogers Show.
Hi, I'm Matt. I'm Jake. What's up? I'm JB. We're August Burns Red, and you're watching the Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey everybody, my name's Art. I'm Freddie. And we're Everclear. And you're watching the Anthony Rogers Show right now.
What's up, good people? This is Jesse Beach from Kill Switch Engage, and you're watching the Anthony Rogers Show.
Hey, I'm Ricky. Play guitar in Dead Heat.
What's up? I'm Chris. I sing in Dead Heat. Drums, Yogi, Dead Heat. What's up? I'm Sanj. I play bass in Dead Heat. And you're watching the Anthony Rogers Show.